Oh my, what is this? Update 25, Plague Territory for State of Decay 2. Haven't done one of these little patch note reading videos in a little while. I am your host, Get Good Fox, and it is June 21st, 2021, and that's update day for State of Decay 2. Let's go ahead and read this kind of like brief intro, not too long, and then after that we'll jump into the big heavy duty patch notes where they tell us all the things. Anyways, let's get started. Bloodplague has tightened its grip on State of Decay 2, creating new challenges for players to tackle, introducing tempting new rewards in Update 25. Plaguehearts are now surrounded by an area of malevolent influence known as Plague Territory. Bases and outposts within these spheres cannot be claimed until the heart has been defeated. However, the rewards balance the risks, as enhanced outposts offer increased resources and even additional community skills. Resource outposts can be upgraded, netting a player abundant resources that would otherwise only be found at their base. Upgrade them twice, and the players will unlock a valuable skill training resource. Landmark outposts are iconic settings that only occur once at every map. Players who spend influence to claim these rare outposts are granted their choice of one of three distinct strategic benefits. The balance of enhanced outposts versus plague territory introduces a greater sense of player progression through clear, visually driven goals and creates opportunities for more strategic and personal gameplay. Update 25 also brings sidearm swapping into the game, one of the most hotly requested community features from our wish list, along with three new achievements worth 50 gamer score. Xbox players who complete any of these new achievements will earn Microsoft Rewards points. Log into your console today to participate, and then it tells us to go to the big old patch notes, which exactly what we're going to do. Alrighty, here's the big notes. Update 25, Homecoming. Blood Plague has taken over. The landscape of State of Decay 2 has changed. The next map you move to will be peppered with new and improved outposts, but to claim them, you must first defeat the Plaguehearts, whose influence now spreads across the map. Many of you have already spent some time in this new world by participating in our public test realm on Steam, and it was your feedback that helped shape the final version of the features that we're releasing today, so thank you. Plaguehearts now possess the territory around them, requiring you to defeat the heart before claiming nearby bases and outposts. Resource outposts can now be upgraded by spending influence. This increases their benefits and unlocks skill training options. Each map has a new landmark outpost, which allows you to choose one of three powerful options to benefit your community. Survivors can now carry both primary weapon and sidearms, opening up new tactical loadout choices. Community skills now share many of their advanced benefits with the entire community of survivors. Note, you must move to a new map, change your map difficulty, or start a new community to see the Plague Territory and Outpost upgrade features take effect. So this means if you have an existing save file and you load into it, then you're not going to see either the Plague Territory or the upgradable outpost. You have to basically either get to a new map, create a new save file, or basically forcibly reset the map by changing difficulties or just going back to the same map. And otherwise, yeah, you're just going to be in the old patch level. Read further for all details on these features, plus a whole lot more. The Plague Territory. Plaguehearts now project Plague Territory around them, filling the area with a nasty red mist and making it unfit for human habitation. Plague Territory is marked by a deep red splotch on the map. Any site within Plague Territory has a red icon indicating that you cannot secure or claim it. To free a site, you must destroy any Plagueheart that includes that site within its territory. In densely clustered maps, that could mean destroying multiple hearts. Plaguehearts tend to congregate where humans do, so expect valuable bases and outposts as well as denser neighborhoods to be covered in Plague Territory. This means that defeating Plaguehearts is no longer just a checklist item you complete before starting your legacy. It's a day-to-day concern as you plan your community's expansion. Yeah, so in one of the streams, Undead Labs talked about how they adjusted where the Plaguehearts are allowed to appear, basically for the purpose of blocking very popular outposts in order to make the zombies feel a little more antagonistic in that manner. Upgraded outposts. Resource outposts, those that grant an income of food, fuel, or another resource, can now be upgraded to unlock increased benefits and skill training options for your community. Each resource outpost offers a progression of 2 upgrades with escalating costs and requirements. The second tier upgrade doubles the resource income and offers a skill training action that grants you ready access to strategic skills like medicine, mechanics, and computers. A fully upgraded outpost offers 3 units of the resource each day or more in the case of food outposts at higher difficulty levels. Take a moment here. So the skill that you get is logically tied to the outpost. So if you want a character to learn medicine, then you'll need to claim a medicine outpost. But if you want a character to learn computers, you're going to want to claim a cell tower. As far as the increased food at higher difficulty levels, yeah, if you play on Nightmare Zone or Lethal Zone, the food outposts actually give you more food. For example, on Lethal Zone, you actually get 2 food per food outpost. So a fully upgraded food outpost is going to give you like 6 food on Lethal Zone, which is pretty nuts. Each map now also features a single landmark outpost, a unique claimable site that offers 3 distinct strategies, each providing a powerful benefit to your community. Some landmark outposts offer a choice of 3 distinct benefits, while others offer a single benefit, but allow you to choose which cost to pay. You select your initial strategy when you claim the outpost, but you could change it later from the base screen. Particularly valuable outposts, landmark outposts, upgradable resource outposts, and utility outposts are now marked with distinctive backgrounds on the map screen, allowing you to identify them more easily. So get out there and explore your options. Thanks to everyone who suggested outpost upgrades on the wish list, also to everyone who called out prominent sites that became landmark outposts. New achievements. Another benefit of the upgraded outposts is the fact that they can unlock 3 new achievements for a total of 50 gamer score. Biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. Claim a landmark outpost. A 3-hour tour. Claim 3 landmark outposts, but it can be better. Fully upgrade a resource outpost. Oh, so these are actually quite easy. These are basically things that you would do anyways, just organically playing the game, so not too bad. Streamline Map Exits. Since you need to change maps to engage with Plague territory and new outposts, we've made switching maps even easier. Okay. Here's the new process. At the start of a new community, you can already see the exits marked with icons on the map screen. At first, they're locked. However, your cursor over an exit icon tells you exactly what you need to do to unlock it. What you do is simple. Upgrade your command center. That's it. Once you have upgraded your command center, which follows from your view base to base, that means that the command center never downgrades, no matter how many times you change bases. Your community has access to all map exits without needing to perform any additional actions. Oh, that's interesting. So they basically trimmed away the research new territories option, because normally you had to do that before you changed bases. Now you just have to get the level 2 command center. Interesting. Sidearm switching. You now have 2 ranged weapon slots in your inventory, one for a primary weapon and one for a sidearm. Each ranged weapon in the game fits exclusively into one of those 2 slots. Primary weapons include rifles, assault rifles, most shotguns, crossbows, and special weapons like grenade launchers. Sidearms include pistols, assault pistols, revolvers, and short barrel shotguns. Interesting. Short barrel shotguns. Wouldn't have guessed that. While aiming one ranged weapon, you can quickly swap to the other by tapping Y on the controller or 2 on the keypad. This has shifted the fire mode input to D-pad down and 3 on the keyboard, respectively, as highlighted on the aiming HUD. Of course, you can always remap the commands both on the Xbox and on the keyboard to anything you like. Oh, and they said it right there. You could remap anything in the settings menu. Also, weapon loadouts can now be applied to any weapon in your inventory if they are compatible, including unequipped weapons in your backpack. This was one of the most frequently requested skill items, or requested items on the wish. Actually, really was. A lot of people wanted the ability to swap weapons. Improve community skills. Community skills now apply many of their advanced benefits to the entire community, not just to individuals with the skill. Nutrition now offers 10 health and stamina to the entire community. Metalwork now offers 15% melee weapon durability to the entire community. Auto mechanics now offers 25% fuel efficiency and 50% vehicle stealth to the entire community. That's actually like insanely good, especially on higher difficulties. The 50% vehicle stealth actually makes a pretty good difference. Pathology offers 50 infection resistance to the entire community instead of 100 to the individual. Surgery now offers 20 health to the entire community. Plumbing now offers 20 stamina to the entire community. This change led us to make additional balance tweaks to some skills that already offered community-wide benefits. Cuisine now offers 15% influence gain and 6 morale to the entire community. Previously, it was 10% influence and no morale. Munitions and pharmacology now offer 10 ammo and med storage, respectively, because +3 they used to offer was garbage. We also made changes to some of the Red Talon 5th skills, though not all of them affect the entire community. Combat medicine and demolitions now offer +2 stack size to the individual over a +1 stack size previously. Firearms maintenance now offers 25% gun durability loss to the entire community. What gun durability loss, like it's like gun durability resistance, or like more durability. Like loss makes it sound like your weapons break faster. Logistics now offer +1 stack size to the entire community instead of +2 to the individual, and it retains its +25 parts per day. Mobile operations now offers 25% fuel efficiency to the entire community instead of +50% to the individual, and retains its +1 fuel per day. So I guess even the Red Talon characters are getting juiced up even more. Other fixes and improvements. As always, we've continued to make smaller scale improvements to the game alongside the headliner features above. Gameplay. We fixed a bug that could cause an exploding bloater to affect a vehicle that was well outside the range of its gas cloud. Rapidly damaging a Plagueheart will no longer cause its second gas explosion to fire improperly and ineffectively. Survivors no longer take infection damage from a feral attack that they successfully do. What? That is a really good one. So this only applies to the lethal zone or the lethal combat difficulty. There was an issue where like you could cleanly dodge a feral, but if its body passed over you, like even though you're immune to damage, it would actually plague you, and it would actually plague you quite a bit. You'd actually take quite a bit of infection from it. Followers now use grenade launchers more effectively against hostile humans. Followers no longer fix broken firearms for free. Aw, too bad. Enclaves, when you search for a new enclave via the radio, we now try to spawn the incoming enclave close to your current position rather than close to your base. Oh, that's actually really interesting. Gives you more control over where they're likely to arrive. Very interesting. The enclave you meet during your arrival on the map with a new community after skipping the tutorial can now be recruited immediately after their mission. We removed all remaining instances that we could find of an enclave with the deprecated, meaningless cold relationship. Oh, I know that. It's not something you see too often, but every now and then when you examine an enclave, they'll say like they're cold to you. UX, the host can now see the tether bubble on the map, helping them avoid accidentally teleporting their multiplayer guests. We added an option to toggle in and out of aim mode rather than having to hold the aim button. You can find it in the accessibility menu. Hovering over the cursor over a Plagueheart now reveals what type of rucksack you will earn if you destroy the heart. So basically, it doesn't tell you all of the loot in the Plagueheart, but you can at least see what rucksack it has. That way you can kind of plot out what Plagueheart you destroy if you need a certain resource. The aiming HUD now displays icons for the aim snap and assault kick, reminding you when you have access to these special abilities. Enclave icons now appear when you survey Enclave-occupied sites from a survey point. Surveying a site by aiming edit from a survey point is now much quicker. We upgraded haptic feedback for controllers. There is now a clearer relationship between what you see on screen and what you feel in your hands. There is a more distinction between weapon sizes and calibers, suppressed gunshots versus unsuppressed shots, etc. Base management. Survivors are no longer unhappy when their base is missing certain common facilities, such as a workshop, an infirmary, a garden, or a watchtower, giving you more freedom in your base building strategy. Traits that cause survivors to argue more often now very specifically tell you how to avoid the arguments while retaining the survivor. Yeah, so in the beta, it'll basically tell you, like, if you keep your morale over a certain level, they won't, like, cause problems anymore. We've reduced the number of notifications that pile up immediately upon loading your community. You can now withdraw rucksacks from the storage facility while it is mid-upgrade. The parking slots in front of Camp Kellenquaw are no longer swapped on the base screen. Audio changes. We redesigned Plagueheart combat music system to create a more compelling experience. We added new Plagueheart music tracks and sound effects. Didn't know there was new music. That's pretty cool. Outposts and Cycle menu also now feature a new set of music tracks. Tutorial. The stealth tutorial now reiterates the stealth input multiple times to make players more likely to understand the process. The Blood Plague Cure tutorial now actually consumes the dose of cure you use on your dying friend instead of leaving it in your inventory. No, things we fixed earlier but forgot to patch. Note, the professional DJ trait assigned to by a traveling conversation no longer applies the music skill. This should be the final case of a travel conversation potentially filling the last skill slot. You need fear them no more. When deleting a community from a save slot, we now name the community in the confirmation dialog to help reassure you that you are deleting the one that you intended. The community difficulty slider is now the one that applies modifiers to the threat level at your base, not the action difficulty slider, bringing the mechanics in line with their description. And miscellaneous. We close an exploit that allows players to laboriously duplicate ammo via the vehicle inventory. The RTX Cyclone now counts as a shotgun for the purpose of completing bounties. And finally, we've also made a raft of minor improvements to art, audio, UI, and localization. Well, there you have it, boys. Update 25. It's available now. You can download. You actually could have downloaded it before you even listened to this video, but now you know the patch notes. Tell me, what do you think down in the comment section? Are you interested in the Plague territories? What about upgrading your outposts? How about the revised community features? Let me know. How do you approve of Update 25? Do you approve, disapprove? And on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is you think this is the stinkiest garbage you've ever heard of, and 10, it's like God's gift to gamers. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. But until next time, boys, that is the end of this video. Like the video if it was informative. Subscribe for future State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get